Hello, YouTube. My name is Mariah, and I am doing perfectly well. I am so happy to be here, and I hope that you are too. So, this video has been kind of percolating in my mind over the last few days, maybe a week, as a message that needed to come to the surface. Just with everything that's going on in the news, in the QAnon movement, in the channeling community, everywhere. Everything right now is so topsy-turvy, and that's literally the key word. Like, everything is kind of not quite as it seems. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit now, and perhaps if you follow me or you follow similar content, you'll be seeing the posts about human trafficking, child trafficking, and pedophilia. And I just want to address that first because it is an enormous problem. It makes me like so tense to even like think about it, and I get shocked from all the stuff that I've learned over so many years, you know? Like I've always been into conspiracy theories because I've always known there's some truth there. Like, those things wouldn't be coming to the surface unless there was some. Why would somebody make something like that up? And right now with Epstein and all those people on his flight log, and you know, the stuff that Epstein did that's recorded, you need to think about what's not recorded. Like, if those people were listed on his flight log, that's fairly easy to get. You got to think of the people who aren't listed there. Like, that's common sense to know that there has to be more and that wasn't logged. I mean, I don't know if it was different people, but I can guarantee you there was stuff that just wasn't recorded. So this problem is so prevalent in every part of our society, and if you need a refresher, the Catholic Church and their huge pedophilia problem, like, that's, movies have been made about that. That's documented fact. And it's been documented like 30% of the priests, fathers, whatever, enjoy little boys because they're sick. They're sick. And that's in church, you know? And we all know these stories. We know these stories of these evil people, and you think, oh no, people can't really be like that. They can't really do that. They can, and they are, and they're being controlled by something else, you know? And this is where obviously there's no excuses for anything for pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking. That is the lowest of the low, and it is a part of a much bigger scheme, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But you know, you have to know that the people doing this that are involved, they are missing something. It's not there. I don't know if it's their entire soul. Usually these people have soul fragmentation, so they just have like a little bit left, and it's just if you have no idea why they would do that, you have no idea what's going on in their head, because it's just not on the same level. You can't comprehend it. It's sick. It's disgusting. And it's so prevalent. And it's been happening since forever. Since forever, humans have been put here and have been enslaved into a system that's designed to keep them in denial of their true power, of their true connection to source, because each and every person is literally, I mean this literally, is a fractal of God. If that doesn't make sense to you, please look into Nassim Haramein's work. He's just got a new series on Gaia and his fractal stuff, and also look into some DMT researchers, and you know, you put those two together and you're just like, I'm a fractal of God. You're a fractal of God. Everything is a fractal of God experiencing life. That's the bottom line in each person. However, there are other species in the universe. In our universe, there are many universes, and they know this. They know how to work with the beyond what we just see, you know? I always say humans are multidimensional. They are. I have multidimensional experiences all the time because I am multidimensional. So many people have these. You have them when you go to sleep. When you dream, you're in the astral realm. That's another dimension that you're in. So you are multidimensional. These other beings in this universe and other universes know that. They're very advanced. They're farther ahead than we are because they created us. Spoiler alert. And if you're not with me on that, that's fine. I mean, it is kind of relevant, but I'm not going to argue the origins of humans in this video. But since then, we were created to be slaves. We were always enslaved. And the more that humans started to rise up and started to think for themselves, create their own communities, things like that, the harder it was to control us. And if you're looking for really good in-depth information about what I'm about to say, look into Jill's work. She's at Water Priestess on Instagram. Her stuff is amazing, and she's got lots of accounts you can follow as well. But they control us and keep us locked into the same grid system of control that they started with. Even though we tried to move out in our communities, even though whatever, they started to attack our multidimensionality because they knew that was a way to keep us in if we weren't aware with it. If we weren't in touch with that, that would be an easy way to keep us in the trap. Super easy. If you don't know you're multidimensional, you're not going to use your multidimensional powers. If you know you're multidimensional, you're just, you take yourself off of that playing field, literally. So yeah, they got us where it hurt, and they started attacking our chakras and our karma through our blood and through our life force, because our blood is our waters, and the Water Priestess has amazing, I call her the Water Priestess, but that's just her Instagram name. Jill has amazing info about your inner waters and how that's connected to blood, because your blood is your inner water. But you have other fluids as well, of course. But your blood, because it's filled with water, and water is structured, you can structure water and you can make it a certain frequency that when we are scared or have certain emotions, that shows up in our blood because we're electric with our attention. Just like our blood is like a current, like electricity current, because it's water. And you know, when people have said makes my blood boil, you know, like those are real alchemical processes that are happening. And you know, they do that to you on purpose so that they can take that energy from you. And also, it feels so weird to talk about, but they drink your blood because of this. You release a lot of chemicals into your blood, and they drink children's blood because of this, specifically. And I don't want to go into the horrors of all the stuff that's happening to children. I'm going to link some videos below that you can watch if you're unaware, or some information if you're unaware of the child trafficking problem. And I'm gonna tie this on. I'm trying not to get on too many tangents. So anyways, they control us with our blood by making us scared, and then by making us scared in our life experience, we start to attract those things. We create karma. So this karma also gets passed down through our blood, intergenerational trauma, passed down by the blood, by the genes. So they know this at the top. I'm talking top cabal, who is not fully human, if at all. They know this, and they do this to our children, scaring our children and keeping them in karmic loops lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And that is how they're trying to transmute any light that is children and turn it into their own darkness. And it, you know, it's just been happening from the start, which is why we're so numb. We don't see it. We don't fully get it. It's not, it doesn't register because it's been happening the whole time. And right now, what I'm really seeing with the whole pandemic was this purge of the root chakra. And this purge of the root chakra on a collective level turned into the fear of not being safe, which is your root chakra, feeling like you're not provided for, people losing their jobs, feeling like you don't have your people who are separated from their family, like the toilet paper stuff, especially people scavenging for food at the grocery store. It was just a huge purge of our root chakra. And you know, the whole Black Lives Matter thing too, like that was so root chakra, crying out for unity. But I mean, with you know, there's some stuff going on there too with the separation that's being instigated by these people as well. And of course I agree with the whole premise of the movement, but I don't know, it's kind of taken a really strange turn. And you know, if you want me to elaborate on that, I totally can. I'm totally open to talking about that. But that's not this video. Anyways, so root chakra, and so many people have been going through their own root chakra purging, myself included. So many people with their root chakra and just needing to be grounded, needing to come back to earth. And right now, what I see happening is the next level, the sacral chakra purge. And the sacral chakra is sex and water. And right now, what everybody's talking about is sex and water. And sex, we're purging the lower levels. We're purging just the awful things that we do around sex. Like, it is just so twisted and so inverted in this collective consciousness, the sacral chakra. It's not how it should be at all. Sex should be sacred, and it should be between two people who love each other and consent with it and create a whole journey and an experience together. It's not for power. It's not for like just the twisted things that people do for sex. Like, my brain can't comprehend it, but it happens. It literally happens. I'm gonna post Blake Lively's video because the stuff that she talks about that they do to I should stop saying they, that pedophiles do to babies, not children, babies, that they do to babies, sexually assault babies on video. Like, and not even just sexually assault, torture. You know, like, this is the level that we're talking about, which is why we need to keep talking about it, because it's not outlandish and it's not some theory. It really happens all the time. And, you know, if you don't believe me, Blake Lively went in there and got the stats, so definitely check out her video. It's really good. And also, the sacral chakra has to do with water. Right now, we're seeing how many water companies are tied to the sex trafficking rings. Like, that is such a sacral chakra thing. And, you know, we need to clear all of this stuff. I don't know how the solar plexus chakra is going to come up. I don't know. That's just how I'm seeing it now. And something else that I mentioned on my Instagram that I'm seeing is the cabal control of the world as this like outer shell that kind of looks like a web, like it's like a web shell, and it's to me, it looks like bone. Bone that's crumbling though, like dusty bone. You know, like in those cartoons where you touch the bone, it like, you know, it looks like that. And right now we're witnessing the crumbles fall down on us. We're, you know, it's still here, but it's dead. If that makes any sense. Like we're just now, we got to clean it away. But the problem is, sorry, something might, if we don't look at it, we can never clean it. It's the same as cleaning your room. Like if your floor is dirty, it's not going to get clean if you don't look at it. Like you have to look at it and be like, oh shoot, here's my broom, sweep, sweep. And then it's clean, you know? That's what we have to do. We have to clean this shit up. And my main point of this message, I know it's taken me 15 minutes already, but the main message that I have is that all of this stuff needs so much to be seen and to be purged and to be out in the open, and people need to see it. People need to be aware, because people who are aware are upset by this news. People who fully understand this news of the child sex trafficking rings and their connections throughout finance, politics, governments, business, the music industry, Hollywood, everything. If you, one, are not involved, like if somebody's like, oh, it's not so bad, I think you get like 911, like, hello. If, you know, if you're not one of them and you understand this information, like somebody presents it to you or you read it somewhere and somehow it clicks, I know it doesn't click the first time, you're gonna be upset. These are our children. So many kids go missing, and they go missing for these disgusting, awful reasons that prop up a lot of our institutions, and frankly, institutions that are propped up by that don't deserve to still be standing. So that's my view. But sorry, the main message here is that we need to see on a deeper level the lesson. And the lesson is about how we treat each other. How we treat each other. It's about how we take care of each other. How we look out for our neighbors, how we look out for the people around us, how we look out for our brothers and our sisters. We need to look out for our children. We need to be proactive. And the more stuff that's cleared and is gone from this, the more clarity there is around how we can come to our own truths and how we can stick together. Unity is the key here, and unity with diversity. You can be unified and plural at the same time. I want the whole range. I want every sort of person to be able to just stand together and be like, we're in this. We are made of love. We are made of source. We are all fractal source beings. And we cannot be controlled anymore. You cannot have our children anymore. You can't do this anymore. It's finished. We made a decision, and we're going to move forward and advance the human race instead of keeping it on a downward spiral. That's something else. Haven't you noticed how much chemicals they put in your food? What they put in your water? What they put in your products? What they put in the technology? There's too much toxic stuff to argue that our highest governments and institutions actually care about our well-being. There's too much yucky stuff. Why do we have all this yucky stuff and it's just normal if you actually care about me and my thriving life? Right. They don't. They don't want us to thrive. They want us to be numb so they can control us. and so that they can keep feeding the beast literally children. Literally. Just a reminder, there was like 200 CEOs that stepped down in January before this information started coming up. Crystalia thing, all these celebrities. There's just, you know, so much stuff coming to the surface. And even if you make a face like this, like, we gotta see it. You know, I don't mean like you need to see the horrors and watch it, but you need to witness that it's real and that we can do something about it. And we can do something about it by hanging on to that lesson of how we treat each other. Think about it. At the worst end of this situation, you have an abuser and a child who is the abuser not thinking about how they treat that other source of God. You know, we have so lost that connection that each and every single person is God in another body. And we are all that. So we are all the same. We're all that. We are all that source energy. And I'm not telling you to like go forgive a pedophile. I just use that as an example of like, that is a huge example of we're not treating each other right. That's not how you treat somebody else. And then you have to think of today. You have to think of the pandemic, and then you have people getting upset at other people for not wearing masks or whatever. Like, if you wear a mask, you're good. It's your decision. But how many times did we hear that it really doesn't help? Like, if I saw studies by all these doctors who said wearing the mask is going to save the lives of like 1 million people, sure, but like, I don't know, that thing in Florida came out where they're skewing the information. Masks don't actually protect you from like that small of stuff. It doesn't make sense. So why would you force your opinion on somebody else? Why would you treat somebody like that? You know, this is just so coming down to, and this is maybe sometimes why it's been talked about like this, because we're so in our ego, to treat each person like you would yourself. But for me, that never really clicked, because I was like, I'm really mean to myself. Like, I'm in my head judging myself, so mean to myself all the time. Not so much anymore, but like, you know, I've been very mean to myself. So when I hear treat everybody like you would treat yourself, I was like, But what really clicked is treating everybody like they're God, like their source energy, like they're Jesus, like they're whatever you want to call it, like they're the universe. And just know that God is showing up exactly how he should be in that person to show us what we need to be shown, so we can learn what we need to learn. And we need to learn how to treat each other better, so we can move past this. We can just hug each other and be like, it's okay. Everything is really okay. And we're going to look at this, and it's not going to be nice, but we're going to get through it for sure. We're going to get through it. And the best piece of advice I have is to find your own safe space. Find your own space inside you that feels so good and so nourishing, and go there. And my cat's trying to get out. For me, that is with Nova Gaia, with the Great Mother, Mother Gaia, in her cave in the middle of the earth. I go there in my meditation every morning, and really it's in my heart. And I will share my meditations that I have, guided meditations, to bring you down to the same place that I go if you want to try. I have found such friendship, such love, such care, such compassion from having that safe space for myself. And that is honestly the number. He's like rattling on the door. He knocks the lights down. That's why I can't let him out. That is the number one thing that you can do right now that really does so much more than you think. It helps to change your energy, and then by doing that, you're able to transmute the energy that's around you. So when your energy is clear, when you, I've literally seen it, it's just like your Taurus field, and it goes pss, 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 your Taurus field. When your Taurus field is big and expansive because of the work that you've done in meditation, you can be in a room and lift the energy of the room like that. That is the work. That's the real work that really matters, because the cabal, they're doing this work, but on the opposite, on that same level. But light is so much stronger. All you need is one candle in a room of darkness to lift it up. And it's the same with energy. When your energy field is really strong, by meditating, drinking fluoride-free water, drinking water out of blue glass, eating less processed food, less animal products, your energy field is huge. Huge. And just by having a huge energy field, you transmute so much for yourself and for the people around you. It is the single most responsible thing you can do, is to do that and to come into your safe space, anchor in, and that's how you change the vibration around you. And you know, when we all meditate, you saw it before, we meditated, when was that, in April, and it changed the Schumann resonance, like it changed the magnetic frequency of the earth. We have so much power that we can tap into, and so much is just in our hands. So much is in our hands. And I want to talk about that more, but yeah, this has been pretty long already. But I want to start sharing the truth. Well, I guess it's my truth. I don't want to impose my views on anybody else, but I do want people to be aware. I do want people to be aware of the pandemic of child sex trafficking, because it's too much. It is way too much, and I know a lot of people are going to be upset, and that's why I do honestly recommend having that safe space where you can go and feel nourished, and I'll include the meditation I have for that in the description box. But yeah, just if you remember anything from this video, just remember how important it is to see everybody else as a divine being, as a fractal of God, as love, just like you are. You're the same, just like everybody else. You're that magnificent, and so is each and every person. And treat them like that. Treat them like they are so special and so honored, because they are, and you are. And the more that we can treat each other with that kind of respect, that kind of honor, the more progress we'll make as a human race, and we can actually become the galactic species that we are meant to be. That's where this is all going. I'm going to talk about that in another video, but we need to learn all these lessons and transcend all these things so we can finally integrate with our galactic community. And yeah, but that's another topic for another video, but that's where this is all headed. I can't get him, I'm just gonna get my kitty. But that is all I have to say for tonight. I love you all so very much. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's long, but please, if you feel called, share this, subscribe. I guess I always forget to tell people to subscribe. Like this video if you like this information, and let me know if you want to see something else, like me talk about anything more in depth. And yeah, I love you all. I love you all so much. You are love. I love you.